Good afternoon, everyone. The topic for our HDSI is the role of a methods and application of the artificial intelligence tools in the field of medicine to diagnose and discover various diseases. The use of AI in healthcare has increased. It is now used in diagnosis, drug production, improving hospital workflow between the medical departments, and examine large number of patients quickly. Indeed, this field has made remarkable advances in early diagnosis and discovery of diseases through data, information, and radiograph analysis. The ability to predict disease outbreaks using AI analytics and is dependent on the data analysis and disease prediction. The study seeks to understand how artificial intelligence tools can help and diagnose and discover diseases. It is necessary to design system and algorithm as well as a mechanism and methods to fully utilize AI in this field. Neural networks, deep learning, fuzzy logic, and others are at risk for their adoption and possible application because of their great impact. According to the result of previous studies, AI can simultaneously monitor and process an unlimited number of inputs, revealing complex correlation that cannot be easily reduced. Finally, the researcher believes that artificial intelligence will increase efficiency, save time and efforts and reduce errors. Also, AI does not replace doctor because it lacks human qualities like empathy and compassion. The use of artificial intelligence in medicine will thus contribute to an approved and unprecedented scientific approach in this field to achieve the desired goals and objectives. Moving on to the introduction, artificial intelligence is defined as a general term that refers to the use of computers to model intelligent behavior with minimal human intervention. In medicine, AI is defined as the study of simulating human intelligence in computer technology. It also provides multiple services as well, providing a laboratory for examination, organization, representation, and indexing of medical knowledge, producing new tools to support clinical decision-making, training, and research, integrating activities in medical, computational, cognitive, and other sciences, providing a rich content system for the future scientific medical specialization. Now, fuzzy logic is a powerful tool for decision making, such as export system or pattern classification system. Fuzzy logic play a vital role in a medical evaluation because it provides an accurate examination report. This types of frameworks provides an immediate and a straightforward strategy for a clinical evaluation and are useful in the absence of an expert or a clinical specialist. This framework gives a result depending on the knowledge base built within it or from specialists or experts in the field. It is used to detect coronary artery disease using an integrated fuzzy neuron system. The results reached a level similar to the opinion of the doctor in case of high and low risk of heart diseases. In general, the fuzzy logic process is carried out to the diagnosis below are through the following steps. Fuzzification done by Fuzzify is the process of changing an explicit input value to a fuzzy array. Hence, the Fuzzify is input as a layout from observing the input with a fuzzy value. Now, inference engine, after completing the fuzzification process, the fuzzy value processed by the inference engine using a set of rules acts as a set of rules knowledge-based. Now, knowledge base, this is the main component of a fuzzy logic system. The total occulate system is based on a knowledge base. Basically, it consists of a structured and unstructured database, and data are also called databases. Defuzzify is a process of converting the output of an inference engine into a brittle logic. The fuzzy value is an entry answer of fuzzification that sets the fuzzy value with a clear value. Now, artificial neural networks is a geometric representation that aims to simulate the work of a neural network in the human brain. Artificial neural network consists of a simple interconnected. Now, neurons processing elements are called neurons. Each neurons perform a simple computational task, but the overall behavior is determined by the connections within these various components. The most important characteristics of an artificial neural network is their ability to learn and generalize. For this reason, it is a widely applied because it is possible to model the non-liminal script where the relationship between the variable is unknown or very complex. An AI technology that mimics the working of the human brain and creates pattern for decision making is known as a deep learning, while machine learning requires breaking the problem statement into different parts first and then integrating the results in the final stage. The goal of the deep learning method is to solve the problem from start to end. In medical science, deep learning achieves better results than traditional machine learning models. Moving on to medical diagnosis using deep learning. So while using the traditional automated diagnostic method machine learning algorithm, sometimes it becomes difficult to extract features from large data sets, and then these methods suffered accuracy and efficiency. The difference between machine learning and deep learning is shown in the figure at the side. The tools, application, and predictive models of AI applications are used to diagnose diseases and predict the future of treatment and potential preventive medicine. Therefore, AI may improve and contribute effectively to accuracy of diagnosis, improves efficiency in workflow, facilitates better disease monitoring and treatment, and improves accuracy of procedures and overall patient outcomes. Many institutions and organizations are working hard to implement many different applications of AI, especially if this is the case which is related to human health and health. Among these tools are the applications of ANN, Canada Protocol, MHSP, multi-layer perceptron training, deep attachment, risk assessment calculators tool, also, and psoriasis tool, etc. Therefore, advances in AI have led to the emergence of smart systems and the development of tools that can help doctors in diagnosis and decision making. Through algorithms, AI predictive models can be used to diagnose diseases, predict therapeutic response, and potential future preventive medicine. AI may improve diagnostic accuracy, improve efficiency of service provider and clinical processes, facilitate better disease monitoring and treatment, and improve the accuracy of procedures and overall outcomes for patients. Further, these systems are able to learn from each additional case and can be exposed within minutes to more cases than a physician can see in many lifetimes. This is why an AI-driven application is able to outperform doctors in terms of speed, efficiency, and quality. Now, the problem of this study is, despite the US studies that deal with the topic of the methods and application of AI and its application in the diagnosis and discovery of the disease in the medical field in particular, we found that there is an obvious shortcoming, which is the absence of a study that dealt with how to apply AI methods and techniques for diagnosis and discovery of the disease, and the lack of references that dealt with the role of AI in detecting and diagnosing diseases in the medical field. Among the shortcomings, for example, but not limited to, are that some tools and applications that lack appropriate regulation and some political, ethical, and financial transformation, and whether is it legal and appropriate in terms of safety and efficiency. In addition to the lack of the human competencies and expertise, there are also some tools and applications that have not been adopted by higher and official bodies for discussing the extent to which this tool can be applied and officially approved, as it was applied in a specific way and then completed and not developed or upgraded. This study seeks to address this issue with the study and research with the need to pay attention to this field and how to apply AI methods and techniques that effectively contribute to the process of predicting diseases and epidemics and quickly discovering treatment for them and avoiding them in the future. Moving on to the methodology. The study will use a documentary analytical descriptive approach, which depends on referring to documents and literature and studying them through description and analysis. From this point of view, the current study will revise and analyze previous studies on the subject of AI methods and applications, and its role in diagnosis and disease discovery. So based on Jane and others, this paper aims at knowing how the tools and methods of AI can be applied in improving this field of diagnosis. The proposed technology includes training multi-layered and the kind of ANN with back propagation training algorithms diagnose and predict 5 blood disorders. The results are sequenced. And the results of this study are shown. According to Mintz and Brody, this research highlighted the role of AI in combating future epidemics. So AI technologies have proven their importance in several areas, especially in the medical field, and their effectiveness in limiting the spread of coronavirus, using robots to disinfect hospitals, help patients, and accelerate the creation of the vaccine. The aim of the research is to highlight the role of AI technologies in confronting the coronavirus and to present practical cases of countries confronting this virus, and to find that the future and survival of humanity requires attention to the field of AI as the savior solution to confronting future epidemics. Now, based on Cunningham and Carney, the aim of this study is to investigate an appropriate role for the applications of AI in dermatology in the not too distant future. So, although many of the applications are technologically feasible, important implementation barriers have been identified, including methodological biases, difficulty in standardization, interpretability, and acceptance by clinicians and patients alike. So, the systems need to be trained with the full population. The systems can also be benefited from receiving inputs about other metrics like anatomical location, duration of injury, images of uninjured skin, and standardization practices for imaging new lesions must be implemented. Based on particular Coil research, this research paper aims to reveal some important insights into the various current and past AI technologies in the medical field used in medical research today, particularly in predicting heart diseases, brain disease, prostate disease, liver disease, and kidney disease. In Amato and others, uh, the purpose of the research is to determine the role of AI in healthcare, its nature and details, the complexities of applying AI in healthcare, and suggest ways to avoid them. So basically, there are different questions which arise regarding this. That is technology inherently appropriate for healthcare at all? And does the current legislative framework seem appropriate to regulate AI in terms of safety and efficiency, and etc.? Miller and Brown research proposes a diagnostic system for detecting the type of brain tumor and classifying it among three types in the magnetic resonance image. So the proposed algorithm relied first on the use of self-organizing SY maps for image segmentation and detection of the tumor area, followed by image processing, optimization, and tumor characteristics, extraction operations, and finally forward propagation neural networks were used in order to diagnose the tumor type based on the detected characteristics. So the detailed process is mentioned below along with the results. And then the aim of the Ramesh and other articles is to provide a brief summary of the main applications of AI in gastroenterology, endoscopy, and GI endoscopy. These applications improve our endoscopy diagnostic capacity, make endoscopic workflows more efficient, and even help increase risk more accurately in classifying patients with common gastrointestinal conditions such as gastrointestinal bleeding and disease. In Boursier and others research, they develop and test a system using AI neural networks that can help doctors diagnose breast cancer quickly and accurately. So as specialized doctors can misdiagnose a disease, then the use of AI methods such as neural networks can greatly improve the accuracy of diagnosis. And ANN has proven its efficacy in diagnosing breast cancer as its use makes the diagnosis more accurate and reliable and thus increases the patient satisfaction. The results are mentioned below. And the main aim and conclusion of this article is that there are two roles of AI in cardiovascular imaging. The first is the automation of tasks usually performed by humans like image segmentation and measurement of structural and functional information of the heart. And the second is the discovery of clinically important insights, as most of the reported applications are focused on task automation. Now, there are some drawbacks and future work of this research paper. It is possible that a risk of become legal afterwards, such as who is given consent and who bears responsibility in the event of an unfavorable development. The study concluded that the main challenge is not related to the technology itself, which is developing rapidly and revealing new horizon in the field, but it is related to the legal side, which clearly lacks proper regulation and some political, ethical, and financial shifts. Is technology inherently appropriate for healthcare at all? Does the current legislative framework seems appropriate to regulate AI in terms of safety and efficiency? In short, there are many questions that must be addressed in order to move in line with the development of the technology and to obtain the benefit of this practical implementation. It was mentioned in some studies that the application and use of AI systems in the medical field, but it was used to limited extent, such as obtaining some statistic and result or some information. For example, but not limited to the study proposed technology was a multi-layer training, which is a type of a AI artificial neural network with a backpropagation training algorithm to diagnose and predict 5 blood disorders through the result to the complete blood count test. Studies stated that a diagnostic system that was applied to detect the type of brain tumor and its classification among 3 types in the magnetic resonance image. It was also stated that the use of AI methods such as neural network can significantly improve the accuracy of diagnosis. Development and evaluation of an AI system for COVID-19 diagnosis mentioned the role of AI technologies in confronting the coronavirus and interest in the field of the AI as a savior solution for the epidemics. It stated that through the study, the following results were obtained using AI technology to limit the spread of the coronavirus. The importance of AI, especially in the medical fields, and the reports are the complementary alternative to medical staff and the assistants in the hospitals. The use of drones for awareness and disinfection, reliance on smartphone application to monitor patients. Now, case studies show that there is a clear need for a future clinical trials, and it assumes that improving the general description of algorithm and study design can lead to the better acceptance by clinical and also society at large. This would also help organizational decision maker who will need to adopt positions on responsibility. There are also a few challenges. So the main challenge is not related to the technology itself, which is growing and developing rapidly and revealing new areas for its use. Rather, there are several obstacles that prevent the use of methods and applications of artificial intelligence and its ability to diagnose and discover diseases on the ground. Among these obstacles, we would mention the legal concern. The obstacle that may prevent the application of AI is that it lacks appropriate regulations and some political, ethical, and financial transformations. Does the current legislative framework seem appropriate to regulate AI in terms of safety and efficiency? There are some difficulties and obstacles to the application of AI. It was stated that it is devoid of other basic components of our intelligence, like awareness, empathy, benevolence, subjectivity, intuition, and adapting to unusual situations. So the quality of the human-patient relationship remains irreplaceable. The result of the scientific studies showed that the study concluded that the use of AI in the medical field has become a major factor in the diagnosis, drug production, and improving workflow in the hospital corridors and between medical departments and other departments. So artificial intelligence gives computers the ability to learn by entering huge amount of data. It is committed to developing automated systems. Now, AI plays a major role in improving the medical sector and healthcare, but it has not reached the stage of fully treating disease and developing the strategies through which to confront pandemics and epidemics. The existence and the application of AI will achieve efficiency, save time and effort, and reduce errors. In addition, AI supports doctor, not replaces them, as this machine lacks human qualities such as empathy, compassion, etc. There are some examples of the results of the case studies which was used in this research paper. First was the artificial intelligence in medicine. The objective of the study was to discuss the modern scientific literature and to provide perspective on the benefits, the future opportunities, and the risk of well-established artificial intelligence application in clinical practice for clinicians, healthcare institutions, medical educations, and bioethics. The result of the paper was the validation of AI-based technology, ethical implication and continuous monitoring, educate future medical leaders for the challenges of the artificial intelligence in medicine. The next study paper was the introduction to AI in medicine. The objective was to update the review of AI in a medicine with a particular focus on its application in radiology, pathology, ophthalmology, and dermatology. They discussed a selection of papers illustrating the potential use of AI in a technologically advanced future. Thus, AI has the result was that AI has a many potential application in medicine. It remains to select which of this will take root and be implemented, but the certainty lies in the inevitable of a change. Therefore, it is important for all the clinicians to be aware of a recent advances in the AI, as they are likely to affect the healthcare delivery in the future. The third case study paper was a systematic review of AI techniques in the cancer prediction and diagnosis. The objective of the paper was to review the application of the AI in cancer diagnosis and prediction and to summarize their advantages. Also to review the application of AI in cancer diagnosis and prediction and to summarize its advantages. The result of this paper was a review presented in this paper showed that the researchers are rapidly gaining a much deeper understanding of the challenges and opportunities presented by AI as an intelligent information science in the field of cancer diagnosis and nurturing the potential of AI for different types of cancer diagnosis. However, the limitation of the review is that it didn't include genomics and radiology data applied by AI to obtain accurate clinical medicines. We anticipate that AI-based clinical cancer research will lead to the paradigm shift in the cancer treatment, resulting in a significant improvement in the patient survival due to the enhanced prediction rates. Thus, it is logical to predict solving cancer diagnosis challenges through AI development in the near future. Conclusion. Recent developments in AI technologies have led to successful applications, tools, and methods of AI in the field of healthcare and in the medical field. It has even become a controversial topic of debate about whether AI systems will eventually replace human doctors. However, we consider the fact that an AI system can help a human clinician make a better decision or even replace human judgment in some cases. Various AI technologies can help learn information from a large amount of clinical data. In addition, AI methods are trained in such a way that they can have the ability to self-learn, correct errors, and produce results with high accuracy. In recent times, AI has made remarkable progress in the field of diagnosis and early detection of diseases. The importance of AI methods and tools lies in the ability to diagnose diseases and analyze the relationship between prevention or treatment methods and patient outcomes. The tools, methods, and applications of AI have been developed, and their applications contribute to diagnostic processes, the development of treatment protocols, the development of medicines, personal medicine, patient monitoring and care, etc. The importance of these methods and tools used is that they have the ability to predict the possibility of a healthcare crisis before it happens. Thank you.